or even more assertively or aggressively. And this pose is stand pose. And why this is important is because it is a symbol of what do you care about and what do you stand for. So in summer, as we're starting to hit the summer phase of burnout, there's a little bit of lack of pleasure, starting to forget, like, I got involved in all these projects or these, whatever it is, life circumstances, and I'm starting to forget why I said yes to all these, or resent why I said yes to these. So stand pose is a nice following to no pose. It reminds us of and asks the question, what do I care about? What am I a stand for? And so I'm going to walk you through the pose. I recommend a minute a day in the morning and at night, or as needed throughout the day. I use this pose often to start my day as I proceed with work. And also in my family, when lots of decisions have to be made, I stand in the pose, and what it helps me with is determining what feels like the way forward. So that's how I tend to use it. I'm going to walk you through the pose now. Feet right under the hips. You can rock back and forward a little bit to feel what feels like center for you. Keeping your spine nice and long. Arms down by the side. There's a sense of aliveness in your arms, so a sense of pushing down towards the ground, but not so strongly that your arms are very stiff. So head forward, looking straight ahead. Take a deep breath in. And say the words in your head or out loud, I am a stand for, and then whatever it is you're a stand for. And take a minute in this pose to think about what it is that you care about. What do you stand for? What are your values? And are you standing in those values and standing in what you care about? And if you know your values and you know what you care about, what does it feel like to stand in those values? And does this feel familiar? Like, yes, I stand in these values all the time. And you're like, yeah, this is it. Or does it feel unfamiliar where you're like, oh, I know my value, but I don't really, it's weird to stand here and feel like I'm standing with all of those with me. And just notice what comes up for you. And then as you come out of the pose, were you happy to come out of the pose? Or could you have stayed there longer? And by all means, if you'd like to stay there longer to really feel into it, I encourage that as well. And so, with the questions like, yeah, I love to stand in my values, like think about how you interpret that and how that applies to your life. Are you igniting your passion, burning so far forward and really going for it in that achievement mindset that you are burning yourself out? Are you not standing in your values because you're looking at what other people need and want, and maybe that's not serving you? So questions to pose yourself, and I encourage you to practice this every day, like I said, morning and night for a minute a day. Get used to standing for what you care about.